Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. So much has happened this week, from a memorial fit for a legend to major drama in Bachelor Nation that has fans questioning just how the season will end. I got those stories for you and a couple more, so let's dive right in. On February 24th, celebrities, fans, and loved ones all gathered at the Staples Center in Los Angeles to celebrate the lives of Kobe and Gianna Bryant. In the midst of grieving, Vanessa Bryant planned a heartbreakingly beautiful memorial, a memorial that she didn't even know if she'd be speaking at until moments before she stepped on stage. A source told E! News that Vanessa's speech was tentative right up until the very last minute. Before Jimmy Kimmel was slated to announce her on stage, she had a signal that she was going to give him whether or not she was going to do it, and obviously she ended up doing it. I mean, I can't even imagine how difficult it must have been for her to get up on that stage, but I also can't imagine the memorial without her heartfelt speech. While Vanessa paid tribute to her best friend and daughter individually, she also talked about just how close the two really were. And in one heart-wrenching moment, she said that God knew that they couldn't be on this earth without each other. The tears and the tributes flowed throughout the memorial, which Beyonce kicked off with performances of EXO and Halo. After singing a few bars of EXO, Beyonce paused and said, "I'm here because I love Kobe," and this was one of his favorite songs. Alicia Keys also performed at the memorial, and if you watch my Grammys recap video, you'll probably remember that Alicia Keys hosted the award show on the day of the tragic helicopter crash that killed Kobe, Gianna, and 7 others. On that day, she stood in the Staples Center and said, "We're here standing heartbroken in the house that Kobe Bryant built." And I'm sure the same rang true on the day of the memorial. In addition to Vanessa, Kobe's friends Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan were among those who gave speeches. They both reflected on the legacy that he leaves behind, while also touching on some of their favorite moments together and allowing the audience a few lighter moments during the memorial. Jordan joked that after the memorial, he'd have another crying meme on his hands, referencing the picture that went viral in 2012, showing him crying at his 2009 Basketball Hall of Fame induction. Shaq told a story that got some laughs from the audience when he talked about a time during a game that Kobe wasn't sharing the ball, and he talked to him saying, "Hey, there's no I in team," to which Kobe replied, "Well, there isn't me." It got a few laughs and a smile out of Vanessa Bryant. Like I said, an absolutely beautiful memorial. And I just touched on a few of the notable moments, but like I said, it was 2 hours and there were so many touching moments. So I would definitely recommend checking out those moments for yourself. Google them, search them on YouTube. Definitely worth seeing in their entirety. Okay, so switching gears here, let's talk about The Bachelor. So here's the thing, I've never actually watched a full episode of The Bachelor. I'm more of a Bachelorette fan. That's because I can't stand 2 hours of girls crying and fighting over a guy who is so not worth it. On the other hand, I can appreciate The Bachelorette, which offers 2 hours of attractive guys going on dates straight out of rom-coms. That being said, I do keep up with what's going on The Bachelor, so come Bachelorette season, I know what's going on. My primary source of information, Reality Steve. If you don't know who Reality Steve is, he's the king of Bachelor Nation spoilers. He always knows everything that's gonna go down and spills the deets way before the finale airs, which is why it's super weird that this season Chris Harrison and friends seem to have him stumped. But here's where we're at right now. Despite his inability to make a decision, Pilot Pete, who, side note, shouldn't have been the Bachelor in the first place because it actually should have been Tyler Cameron. Anyways, he's finally made it to the infamous Fantasy Suite dates. The level of drama is always insane come Fantasy Suite week, but this season it's particularly crazy. Basically, not giving away any spoilers, in episode 9, Madison told Peter that she was saving herself for marriage and that if he enjoyed himself in the Fantasy Suite with the remaining 2 contestants, Hannah Ann and Victoria, that she would have a hard time continuing in the competition. This has led fans to speculate that given Peter's history, which includes a windmill, if you know, you know, he's probably going to engage in some behavior in the Fantasy Suites that's not exactly going to leave Madison feeling super thrilled. Fans think that Madison will self-eliminate and bid Pilot Pete adieu, but whether or not he comes running after her is the real question. Actually, the real question is, who is Peter's mom crying about? Because we've seen a teaser the whole entire season of Peter's mom crying and saying, "You have to bring her home to us." Who is that girl? We still don't know that either. So two really actually main questions here. Only time will tell, and hopefully Reality Steve sooner rather than later, what's gonna go down. But honestly, I don't really care who he ends up with, if he ends up with anyone, because I personally don't think it's gonna last very long. But if you guys have a front runner that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments. I know that I'm personally just biding my time until The Bachelorette is announced. Speaking of announcements, the host for this year's Billboard Music Awards was just announced, and it's, drumroll please, Kelly Clarkson. This marks the 3rd year in a row that she hosted the award show, so basically she's an old pro. Also, she's only the 3rd person ever to have hosted the show 3 times, sharing the honor with Ludacris and Kathy Griffin. There's no word yet on who will be performing or presenting, but you guys know that I love award shows, so stay tuned for that information. The show will air on April 29th. Okay, one more thing before I go. I know you guys love royalty, so here's the latest news. At one of his last official engagements as a senior member of the royal family, Prince Harry asked that everyone call him just Harry. Now, he agreed to give up his Royal Highness title when Megxit comes to fruition on March 31st. But I mean, he'll always be a prince because that's his birthright. So I guess he's just taking this I'm really gonna be a normal person thing very seriously. I saw one headline calling him the Harry formerly known as Prince, and I basically thought that was like the best thing ever. Well, that's all that I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. I always love to hear your thoughts on the stories, so make sure to comment below. And for now, I'm your very trusty source.